Hello everyone. Today for practice, you may find it helpful to have a block and maybe even a strap. If you don't have these, that's okay. We'll have other options available. We're going to focus today's class on the third chakra, or the Manipura chakra. This is the solar plexus, so it's located in and around the navel. The element of this chakra is fire. And of course, being in our navel center, this is also where all of our digestive fire happens. This is where our digestive organs live. And with the practice of Ashtanga, we do a lot of compression and twisting of the digestive organs. And so the primary series is really thought to be a very purifying practice in this way. The Manipura chakra is really thought to be an element of power, of transformation, of self-esteem, and of will. So with those thoughts in mind, let us just come to a comfortable seated position, and I want us to start to draw our awareness to the breath. Now, within Ashtanga, there's an important bandha that happens in and around the navel. This is uddiyana bandha, and it happens just about 2 finger widths below the navel point. Before we start to engage that, I just want you to practice kind of relaxing the muscles of the belly a little bit. You can place one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Maybe even close your eyes a little bit and start to connect with the breath. We'll just do easy breathing for now. Notice as you start to feel the inhale move in through your nose, expanding the chest. The diaphragm starts to push the internal organs outward and the belly expands. And then it exhales, the belly softens, the thorax relaxes, and the breath escapes. Just practice this a few more times, inhaling, belly rising, exhaling, belly falling. Now, when we start to engage with uddiyana bandha, we still have the movement of the diaphragm pushing on the organs, but we have a steadiness at this navel center, almost as if someone has tied a string starting at your navel around the lumbar spine behind it. So with that hand placed around your navel, see what happens if you try to keep that part of your body still while keeping the breath flowing. See how the breath starts to move upwards and the spine grows a bit taller. You may notice the belly still has a rise and a fall to it, but there's a steadiness and a lengthening that happens, and a fullness in the depths of the lungs, bottom parts of the lungs. Now, start to engage with that ujjayi breathing, constricting the back of the throat, creating an ocean wave sound. So with a steadiness at the navel and a loud breath, let us start to invite in some movement. We'll start by rolling over onto hands and knees. And we'll start with some cat-cows. So inhaling, dropping the belly, lifting the head and pelvis for cow. Exhaling, lifting the belly, dropping the head and pelvis for cat. Inhaling for extension, exhaling for spinal flexion. Keep moving a few rounds on your own, just warming up the spine, getting the energy, the breath flowing. This pair of movements happens frequently throughout the series of practice today. Inhaling, extending, exhaling, flexing. Then come to a neutral position, and you can bend your elbows, come all the way to the floor so your belly's on the ground, hands next to low ribs. Drop your third eye, your forehead to the ground. And then similar to cat-cow, we're going to inhale, look up, using the muscles of our back to come into a low cobra. And then exhale, forehead to the ground. Pressing into the tops of your feet, lifting your knees, pressing into the pubic bone. Inhale, lift, look forward. Exhale, lower back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, pressing into the feet, the hips, finding length in the spine. Exhale, lower back down. This time, inhale, roll back through tabletop. You may want to widen your knees as we come into child's pose. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Forehead to the ground. This is a great opportunity if you work with intentions to invite in an intention or affirmation for your practice. For the solar plexus, you may want to consider an affirmation like, I honor the power within me. The end of your breath, roll up through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and come into downward dog. You can pedal out your feet, get any wiggles out that you need, just feeling into your body, understanding what it needs today. We'll be here for just a moment or two. And at the end of your exhale, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then just on a slow rise, we'll ragdoll ourselves back up to a standing position, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders, head, and neck being the last to rise. Good. Now that we're at the top of the mat, toes can come together for Samasthiti. We'll begin with Sun A. We'll go through this a few rounds. Remember, you're always welcome to drop to your hands and knees for cat-cow, or even come all the way to the ground for cobra instead of doing chaturanga. So inhale, arms up, hands press, look up. Exhale, forward fold, hands flat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk, jump, step back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, looking forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll stay here for a count of 5. 1. Energetically pressing the heels towards the earth, whether they reach or not, that's okay. hips high to the sky. 2. Finding length from the sacrum to the top of the head. 3. See if you can find any extra space between your shoulders and your ears. 4. Let the gaze be towards the navel. 5. Make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, arms up, hands press, hands through heart center, samasthiti. Again, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands flat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, all the way down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. 1. 2. Remembering that steadiness of the navel, see how you can find more length in your breath and how that changes the shape of the spine, the abdomen, the chest. 3. 4. And 5. Walk your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, arms up, hands press. Exhale, hands through heart center, samasthiti. Do Sunday one more time. Inhale, arms up, hands press. Exhale, forward fold, hands flat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk, jump, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, facing forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1. Feeling equal between your hands and your feet. 2. Engaged in the low abdomen. 3. Eyes soft. 4. And 5. Make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, arms up, hands press. Exhale, hands through heart center, samasthiti. Do 2 rounds of Surya Namaskara B. We'll drop our hips, bend our knees. Inhale for Utkatasana chair. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down to chaturanga cobra. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Rotate your left foot, step your right foot forward. Inhale for warrior 1. We're here just for a breath. Exhale, all the way back down to the floor, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Rotating your right foot in, step your left foot forward. Inhale, rise, hands press, look up. Exhale, down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1. 2. Now we move through upward dog just with a breath. 3, and see what it feels like the next few times that we move through to remain engaged in the low abdomen as opposed to dumping in the low back. Let there be equal engagement between the front and the back body. 4, can create that similar sensation in downward dog as well. 5, walk your feet forward, inhale, half lift, exhale, forward fold. Drop your hips, lift your hands, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more time. Drop your hips, lift your hands, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk or step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Rotate your left foot, step your right foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, feel the lift. Exhale, downward dog. Rotate the right foot in, big step with the left foot. Warrior one. Rise, exhale, down to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1. So it's very normal after finishing the sun salutation series to feel very heated, to feel very warm. 2, the breath, the bandhas, creates a container for this heat. 3, so that this prana can help purify our body, our minds, our spirits. 3, 4, and 5. Walk your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Drop your hips. Lift your hands. Hands press Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. We'll jump our feet apart. Exhale, forward fold. Grab your big toes with peace fingers. It's okay if you bend your knees generously. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. For Padangusasana, 1. 2, it's less important that you're having straight legs, and more important that you're making a connection with your torso to your thighs. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Adjust your hands either to the top of your feet or you can slide them underneath your feet for Padahastasana. Exhale, drop your head. 1, 2, feeling steadiness at the solar plexus, uddiyana bandha. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plant your hands on your waist. Look up halfway. Exhale here. Inhale, rise all the way up. Back to Samasthiti. We'll inhale, take our right foot out to the side. We can rotate that foot all the way to the back of the mat. The back foot's going to rotate in about 30, 45 degrees. This is a great place. If you have a block, you may want to use it as we come in for Utthita Trikonasana or triangle pose. So right hand comes forward, grabbing either peace fingers to big toes. Maybe we're on our shins if we don't have a block, or if we do have a block to the outside of the foot. 1. Left hand up to the sky. 2. Breath long and steady. 3. Always helps to smile, bringing the corners of the mouth up for the 4th bandha. 4. And 5. Inhale, come up. We'll go to the other side, rotating our feet forward. Back leg rotates in, arms up, left hand reaches forward, peace fingers to big toe, shin, or to the block on the outside of the foot. 1. Fingers together. 2. Equal weight between the front and the back legs. 3. Also an equal lift between the top arm and not just dumping in the bottom arm. 4. And 5. Inhale, come up, rise. Exhale, back to Samasthiti. This time we're going to inhale, right foot to the back of the mat again, much wider of a step this time. We'll bend deeply into that right knee. We're coming in for Utthita Parsvottanasana, or extended side angle. So we have a couple options here. Either right hand can be resting on the knee, or it can come down to a block on the outside of the foot, or it can be grounded, hand flat to the outside of the foot. Left arm reaches up overhead. We'll call that 3. 4. Drishti to the hand above you. 5. Inhale, rise. We'll rotate our feet to the other side, bending deeply into the left side. Remember your options, either elbow to the knee, to the block to the outside of the foot, or hands flat. 1. Long line of energy to the right side of the body. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, rise. Exhale, back to the top of the mat, Samasthiti. Again, we'll inhale, step the right foot out to the side. We'll stay centered this time, and then exhale, hands flat to the ground for an extended wide angle forward fold. Dropping your head. 1. Maybe the head reaches the ground, maybe it doesn't. That's okay. 2. Prasarita Parsvottanasana. 2. 3. 4, and 5. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, hands to waist. Inhale, rise all the way. We'll do B variation. Inhale, arms up to the side. Exhale, hands back to the waist. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold, hands stay on the waist. Now creating a little bit more balance, being hands free. 1. And equal balance between the 3 points of contact in our feet, the big toe mound, small toe mound, and the heel. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, back to the top of the mat for Samasthiti. We'll do one more step out to the side, this time much shorter of a stance. Back of the hands can come either to prayer position or to fists in the kind of fist bumping each other. For Parsvottanasana or pyramided pose, inhale, look up. Exhale, fold over your right leg, head coming to knee, to shin. Making sure that you're pressing into your fists, pressing into your hands. 1, 2. You find that it's difficult to balance here, you can always widen your stance. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise, rotating our feet all the way to the front of the mat. Same thing, other side. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Folding over the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, rise. Exhale, you can drop your hands, Samasthiti. So next we'll come into a few balancing positions. You may find it helpful to have a strap if you have one. If not, there we go, balance, right? If not, we'll go through some demonstrations without them. I'm going to go through the Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana series. So make sure that you have enough room. We'll inhale, our right foot comes up. You can either grab peace fingers to big toes. If you have a strap, you can wrap it around your foot. Leg straight out in front of you. If you don't have a strap, you can always keep your knee bent. 1, 2, remaining engaged with uddiyana bandha. 3, spine tall. 4, and 5. Inhale your right leg out to the side, left hand on the hip, and you're looking out to the left. 1. Remembering that power is less of a noun and more of a verb. It is a way of being. 2, So if we fall, if we make a mistake, if we come out of balance, accept it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to come back into balance, and to step back onto your mat. Call that 4 and 5. Inhale, head and leg comes back to center together. Exhale, you'll fold forward over your leg, or if you're holding your knee, you'll just stay as you are. And then exhale, drop your hands from your leg, extend your knee if you can, drop the strap, just let the leg float. 2, 3, pointing the foot, feel your power. 4 and 5, dropping that foot. Do the same thing, other side. Take a moment and just feel into the right and left side. See what's changed, what's shifted. Bringing more weight into that right foot. Remember your options. You can bring peace fingers to big toes, keeping legs straight. You can bring a strap around the foot, keeping legs straight, but giving you a little bit more, bringing distance a little bit closer to you. Or you can bend the knee. Try not to hug the knee in too much. We want to keep some extension here in the hip flexors. 2, foot engaged either way. 3, 4, and 5. Right hand comes to the hip if it isn't already. Left leg, left hand goes to the left, looking over your right shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come back to center. You can exhale, fold over your leg if it's straight. Inhale, come back up. Release the leg, but keep the leg straight. Release the hands from the leg, rather. Point the toes. 1, 2. The solar plexus is in charge of our will, our drive, our determination and individuation. 3, how do we take a big step forward in our own life for transformation? 4 and 5, dropping that leg, coming back to equal balance, samasthiti at the top of the mat. Noticing what's changed. We'll move into Virabhadrasana A and B via sun salutation. Inhale, arms up, hands press. Exhale, forward fold. Hands flat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk, step back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rotating the left foot in, big step with the right foot. Biggest step all day. Then deeply into the right knee. Inhale, arms up for Virabhadrasana A or Warrior 1. 1, Trying not to collapse in the low back. We're thinking about more flexion here, engaged in uddiyana bandha. 2, 3, knee tracking over the ankle. Should be able to see your big toes in front of you. 4, 5. From here, you'll keep your hands up, straighten that front knee. You'll rotate to the back of the mat, and then bend into the left knee for Virabhadrasana A, other side. Looking up at your hands pressing together. 1. See what it feels like to have equal weight in the front and the back leg engaged through the glute. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, open up into Virabhadrasana B or Warrior 2. Fingers together, gaze over the front fingers. 1. Feeling a broadening through the arms, the chest. 2. 3. 4. and 5. Inhale, straighten that leg. Rotate your feet to the top of the mat. Now bending into the right leg for Virabhadrasana B on the other side. 1. Eyes gazing over the right fingers. 2. 3. 4. and 5. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, hands flat, step back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're coming into our seated series. If you can float through, go for it. Otherwise, let's do this systematically. So step your feet forward, coming into a crouched position. Cross your ankles at the top of the mat. Then move your hands back behind you so that you can recenter your gravity. Lift, press into your hands and lift so that you can lower. Now we're in Dandasana 1. Very similar to Samasthiti like position. 2. Sitting tall and with dignity. 3. 4. and 5. Inhale, exhale, peace fingers to big toes. Once again, always okay to bend your knees. Connection is more important than the stretch or the shape itself here. 1. 2. This is Paschimottanasana. 3. 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Maybe grab a little bit deeper, sides of the feet. Exhale, fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Plant your palms behind you, hands flat. Inhale, lift your hips for Purvottanasana, or reverse tabletop. You can bend your knees if you need to. And then once again, you can drop your head if that's comfortable. If that's tough on your neck, you can look forward. Let your solar plexus shine to the sky. We'll call that 2. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale. Drop your hips. We'll cross our ankles. Press into your hands. Lift. Lower. You can either jump back through, come into chaturanga, cat-cow, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale. Once again, we'll come back through our seated position. Lift, lower, lengthen. We're going to go into Janusirsasana A, bending the right foot in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding over the left foot. Maybe we grab the foot. Maybe we grab our shin. Maybe we bend our knee. All are great options. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, cross your ankles, press into your palms, lift. Lower, we'll go straight to the other side, extending your right foot forward, left foot to the thigh. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding over the right foot. Head to knee, Janusirsasana A, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, roll into chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Come back through seating. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower. Going to move through Marichiasana. Great for the solar plexus. So we'll plant our right foot down, the knee upwards. So we have a couple options here. We'll wrap our right arm around our right knee. The the wrapper is the grabber, so it's going to grab onto our left arm behind our back for a bind. If we can't bind, another great opportunity for the strap. Let the strap provide a little bit more, close the distance for you. That's a great option too. If we don't have a strap, we can always just forward fold with our knee up. We'll call that 3. 4. Right knee pressing into the right colon. And 5. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles. Lift, lower. Same thing, other side. Extending the right. Left foot plants. Left arm rotates around the left knee. Grabbing the right arm behind the back for a bind. 1. The left hip is going to lift up. That is okay. It doesn't need to be flat. 2. 3. See how the breath moves through the body. 4. And 5. We'll exhale, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. I'm going to do Marichyasana D. Now, if you feel very comfortable in your lotus, you can have your left knee into a lotus position. Otherwise, just have that left knee tucked behind your right hip. Right knee up to the sky, foot planted. And then similar to A, it's a forward fold. So you're going to bind over the right foot. Remember your options with either the strap or similarly, we can just forward fold. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms. Inhale, lift. Lower. Switch the cross. So right foot either in lotus or tucked behind your hip. Left foot planted, left knee up. Wrap and grab. Fold for 1. 2. The Marichyasana series is named after the sage Marichi, who was said to be a ray of light, so very fitting for the solar plexus. We're charging the ray of light, that solar plexus inside of each of us. Call that 4. And 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift. Maybe the bottom lifts, maybe it doesn't. Now we're going to come into Marichyasana C position, which is similar setup as A. So left leg extends out straight, right leg is in the bent position, but instead of folding forward, we're coming into a twist. So left arm can either wrap and hug the right knee in. This feels comfortable. Maybe the left elbow comes to the outside of the left knee. Gaze over the right shoulder. Or if you'd like to bind, then you can bind. We'll call this 3. 4. and 5. Exhale, release, unravel, cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower, same thing, other side. Right leg goes long, we'll hug in the left knee, looking over the left shoulder. One, wherever you end up, either hugging in, elbow to the outside, or in the bind. 2, make sure that your breath is long, easy, and effortless. 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, unravel. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower. We'll come into Marichyasana D. Now, if you know Marichyasana D, the full version, go for it. Lotus is comfortable for you, that's okay, go for it. Otherwise, we'll do a modification. So left knee tucks behind the right hip. Right foot comes over the knee this time. And we have a couple options here. So we can hug that right knee in. Right hand comes behind us, looking over the right shoulder. Call that 1. We can take our left elbow to the outside of our right knee. It's option 2. Or we can weave that left hand through the gap of our thighs and come in for a bind. 3, 4, and 5. Exhaling, unwinding, crossing your ankles, planting your palms, lift, lower, switching to the other side. So right foot tucks in, left leg over, right arm hugs in the left knee, left hand plants behind you, looking over your left shoulder for 1. Maybe right elbow comes to the outside of the knee for 2. Or maybe it weaves in through the thigh for 3. 4, and 5. Exhale, unravel. We'll cross our ankles, plant our palms, lift, lower. We'll move through a full vinyasa here. So roll over to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Come back into a seated position, however you want to get there. And we'll go straight into Navasana. So feet up, arms up. 1. This is too much. You can always bend your knees. 2. Maybe we do toe taps, 1 at a time. 3. We can even put our hands behind us, keeping our legs up. 4. So lots of options. Really the key here is that we're staying engaged in the core, the solar plexus. 5. Okay. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift. Lower. We'll do this 2 more times. Navasana. 1. We just squeezed and compressed all our organs in the Marichyasana series. 2. Now we get to strengthen and stroke that fire with Navasana and our prana, our breath. 3, 4, 5. Release, cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower. 1 more time, Navasana, boat pose. 1, 2. Smile, smiling always helps. 3, 4 and 5. Exhale, cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower, roll over. Last vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We'll come back through to a seated position. Scoot down on your mat if you need to, because we're rolling all the way down to our back, preparing for bridge, urdhva, dhanurasana. This can be another opportunity to use a block. If you want a more restorative bridge option, you can place that block underneath your hips. 1. Otherwise, we're lifting up our hips. 2. Maybe tucking our shoulders underneath us a little bit more. 3. Feeling engaged in our feet, our glutes, and our back body. 4. And 5. Exhale, lower. We'll do 2 more rounds of this. You can continue on the block if that's comfortable. Otherwise, inhale, press into your feet. Hips lift. Maybe your shoulders roll so much underneath you that you can grab your hands, clasping them underneath you. 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Release, lower. You can either stay on the block, repeat one of the 2 options we've already done. If you'd like to come into wheel and that feels appropriate for your practice, you're welcome to do so. Planting the palms next to your ear. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, pressing into your feet and your hands, extending into wheel. 1. 2. No matter where you are, letting your breath be full and steady. 3. Allowing your navel to shine to the sky. 4. And 5. Lower back down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Maybe you hug your knees in, rolling out the low spine, rocking side to side. Eventually coming back into stillness. From here, you can plant your palms underneath your sacrum to give you a little bit of a lift, and you'll just extend your legs up to the sky for a legs up the wall pose. 1. We'll stay here for a count of 10, so we'll be here for a little bit longer. Make yourself comfortable. 2. This is also a great opportunity to place a block under the sacrum. 3. 4. If shoulder stand is in your practice, you're welcome to go there as well. 5. 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're in shoulder stand, you have the option to roll back into plow pose, toes behind you on the ground. If you're in legs up the wall, you can just bend your knees, hug your knees back into your chest. Feeling that connection between your thighs and your belly again. If you're in plow, start to come down, roll out, come to a ball position, hugging your knees into your chest. And then from here, I'll have us all, if there's a block underneath you, go ahead and remove it. Plant your palms underneath your sacrum, your buttocks. You'll extend your feet out long. And then keeping your head in contact with the floor, press your elbows into the floor, lifting your chest, your belly, your throat to the sky for a modified fish or Matsyasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Come back to ground. Tuck your knees back in. Start to roll up and down your spine. So you come back to a seated position. You can come into any comfortable seated position. If lotus is in your practice, you're welcome to go to lotus, half lotus, or even just easy posture. You'll cross your elbows behind your back. Inhale, lengthen up tall, and then exhale, fold forward. This helps to seal the practice. The heat, the fire that we created throughout. Planting that seed or intention for the rest of our day, our practice, our life. Knowing that fire remains ever inside of us. Inhale, rise. Unwind. And you can lay back to whatever comfortable shavasana feels good to you. Take up space. Palms up for receptivity, palms down for grounding. You can release the bandhas, release the ujjayi breathing. Allow that heat, that power to move through your body. That power of transformation, letting go of the old, that which no longer serves you, and stepping into the new, the opportunity for growth. Fire can be very purifying in nature. So take all the time that you need to stay in Shavasana. Allow the wisdom of the practice to move through you. And until the next time that we meet, the love and light in me honors the love and light within you. Namaste.